I'm so happy to be here tonight. How great is it to have plans on a Friday night? Oh my God. This is the only way I know what day of the week it is. Yeah, it's, you know, most weeks you go to work, you go home, you go to sleep so that you can go back to work. But when I have plans on a Friday, it really is, I know when it's Monday, I know when it's Tuesday, I'm like, go Sisyphus, go. We're doing something different. Right now, I work at a bakery in Northampton. Working at a bakery in Northampton. I also run the Smith College Survival Center for Women in Liberal Arts. Before I worked there, I worked at the Urban Outfitters down the street. You know how they make the bank into an Urban Outfitters? That's pretty cool. You ever been there? If you have a vocal fry and a credit card with someone else's name on it, you've probably been there. If you haven't, but you're into gentrification and ocean pollution, you should check it out. In my experience, Urban Outfitters is the only employer that will drug test you to make sure you do smoke weed. And I always enjoyed my time there. I love working in a bakery now, though. It's so hopeless romantic, right? Working in a bakery in Northampton. I think that's why I'm drawn to Western Massachusetts in general. It's got this kind of hopeless romantic energy, right? The mountains, very romantic. The state funding, totally hopeless. Western Mass is so removed from the rest of the Commonwealth, you know? I mean, you drive 45 minutes east and you're never more than a stone's throw away from a free Karen Reed sign. We did it, by the way. I'm so happy for her. I mean, manifestation queen, you know what I'm saying? We heard about Karen Reed. She was accused of backing into and hitting her police officer boyfriend, John O'Keefe. And it's, you know, at a house party where everybody inside the house were also police officers, and then the investigation was conducted by also the police. It was really interesting. Like, you know, in like the middle of the night, on that same night, people in the house, one of them Googles how long to die in the cold. That was interesting. And then in the morning, they collected evidence in red Solo cups and brown paper bags because they couldn't let the party stop. The lead investigator looking for nudes on Karen Reed's phone, texting other officers about it. It was unbelievable. And the trial last year ended in a mistrial, so it was great to have it come back for round 2. And we finally got the good ending, you know. And I've been thinking about the greater impact that this might have on people in the way that they're thinking about things. And right now, out there, I think there are probably at least a couple dozen white women. Let me describe them for you. Blonde, hair like a helmet. You know where I'm going. She's guarded. She's guarded. French tip, eyelashes on her car. She's easy to anger, difficult to understand. Always saying some bullshit. She's not like evil to the bone. She's out of touch with the world, but more so just herself. You know, and we know her name. Karen. Yes, and right now there are so many Karens looking at this Karen in the way that she was framed by the police, and I think that maybe we can mobilize the Karens. I think this is the opportunity, and so here's what I've gathered about how we can mobilize the Karens to be proactive white women. Step 1, date a cop. Take one for the team. It's not hard. Heavy, black, smoky eye, go hard on the waterline, girl. Chunky highlights, just go for it. I feel like you're from my neighborhood, that's all you gotta say. Date a cop. Step 2, expose the whole department. You don't have to do anything for this, by the way. They will expose themselves for, you know, being corrupt alcoholics. Step 3, go on Dateline. Step 4, win a night. Okay, I'm campaigning for Karen Reed's. That's what I'm doing. I mean, and I might be the first stand-up comedian to ever say these words on stage, but like, shout out to the media. I mean, this one ruled. This one was fucking awesome. Are you kidding? Personally, I preferred the sequel. The part 2 was even better. And you know what? When they investigate the investigation, maybe that's the prequel. Okay, it's a perfect trilogy that we're gonna have. All right. Happy summer. Happy solstice. Longest day of the year. Is it almost over? I don't know. What kind of summer are we having? It hasn't been established yet. I've been keeping my eye on not really, but you know, I've been keeping my ears open on those. And Brat Summer is over. That was last year. Hot Girl Summer, that was like a million years ago. Me personally, I've been doing a lot of Zoom therapy. So we're staying indoors. This is an indoor summer. I don't even need the sunscreen. Right now I'm wearing a locket with a piece of my own hair in it. Not just any hair, this is my baby hair. Woo! Kind of an outpatient summer, if you ask me. Let me be polite. I'll ask you guys a question. All right, do you want to hear the story about how my ex-boyfriend shit on my couch? And then tried to convince me that I shit on my couch? And then ultimately stole the couch? When I first broke up with that guy, I had to tell every single person I saw all day long about it just to keep sane. And now I tell it on stage because it makes me feel like Taylor Swift. And I will do a pose at the end of this set. I will do a pose. Vote online. Hashtag Taylor Swift. Okay, here's how it goes. Okay, interior day. Location, Belchertown. September 2024. I get home from work. My, at the time, boyfriend is sitting on the couch, fully naked. I walk over to greet him. He stands up. Beneath him, it is revealed a wet, layered stain. And for your visualization purposes, it was about 8 inches in diameter. This was substantial. I shit, you shit, we all shit. This one required a push. I mean, this was no gravity, this was no fiber. This was an act. There was an action involved. And we both looked at the stain, and well, you know what, let me say this. Figuratively and visually, it was a Rorschach test. And I'm afraid we're not really in it together. At this point in my life, I'm living my own personal Truman Show, where this guy, he sets up a scene for me, and then I just sort of respond to it like it's real. And so we're looking at the stain, and we look at each other, and he says, you know, Abby, it was like that when I got home too. This is an interesting play, because as we've already established, he was sitting on the shit. So you're telling me that you got home from work and you saw all 9 layers of Dante's Inferno on our brand new couch, so you took off your clothes. To join in. To become one with the situation. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes women compare men that they're dating to dogs, but I have to say that my sister's dog has also shit on the couch. And when I confronted him about it, he put his tail between his legs and went, which is basically an apology in dog world. So I'm not really sure what's happening here. And I said to him, that looks like shit. And he said, did you shit on the couch?
Oh my God.
This was pretty good. That was a good one, you know? He was ready to treat my couch like fucking John Benet fucking Land. Maybe it was an intruder. Maybe a local Santa Claus confessed. We have it in the emails. And I'm staring into this stain like I'm Kevin Garnett in that movie Uncut Gems. I'm like projecting into. I'm going through it. And is that undigested pineapple? It's unbelievable. About 45 minutes after I clean the stain, he's ready to admit to me what happened. And he does so by standing behind me and he starts thinking visibly. You know when like a piece of shit guy wants you to watch him think? Like you're gonna be fucking impressed. Like he's going between 2, maybe 3 thoughts right now. What's he gonna say? It's like he starts sighing like he's possessed, and you think maybe by empathy, but it never is. And it was fucking heavy. Right before you walked in the door, I was sitting on the couch, and I farted. And I guess I sharted. So that must have been it. And I know that we've all heard a lot of things about women faking orgasms, right? But what about men faking realizations? Oh my God. You just realized all of the things you were doing intentionally? And don't get me wrong, like, he's in a nursing home, this would be a love story, but this was 2 weeks after his 24th birthday. Brain's almost done, and yet it's already cooked. Tell me how that works. That's a horror movie. And in the end, he told me to buy the couch. He took the couch. He never gave me that money. He never gave me the money. All right. Now, okay, obviously I made the wrong choice a couple hundred times to end up in that situation. Obviously. But I thought I was making decisions, you know, from a place of love. I was validating a facade, obviously. And the feeling that I confused with love was actually just relief. Relief that I could buy back into the bullshit. But when you buy the bullshit, you just get the shit. You never even get the whole thing. Thank you for listening to that. I do hope that you know, you all have a very locket with your own piece of your hair in it after summer. I have one more joke. This one's silly. This one's for all the Karens out there. Whatever. If I was going to hit a man with my car, I'd drive forward. Because I'm an optimist.
Keep it going for Abby, everybody. That was fantastic. Oh my God, it's really fun. Too funny.